Good morning, good mid-morning, good evening, depending on where you are following this show from. My name is Lucy, as always, and this is Nurturing Generations for Christ. Remember, in leadership, we talk, we negotiate, all right? We discuss, we make decisions, those are languages of, that's the language of leadership, negotiation, decision making, strategic thinking. We do, when we are talking about leadership, those words or terminologies will show up, will pop up, you see, discussion, they will come up. And therefore, one of the things that we need to teach the children is negotiation, because negotiation is a skill. Most of the time when little children are growing up, you see, if one child, because of the age group, if one child sees another with either a pen, that looks attractive, or even no, they will just pick it. They will get it by force. You understand? And we can't blame them because that's how they know how to do things. You see, but if leaders, do things like that today, it will be chaotic. And as I said, we learn better when we are still young, so that we'll do better in future. We learn there are things we learn when you are young, so that we become better when we in the future. And that's why we read that scripture, Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child, when they are still young, so that when they grow, they will not depart or they will not forget, things like that. So, some children work by compromising, all right? And, if your child or a child is stubborn, that's normal with children, all right? And all of us, if a child is stubborn or complacent, it's good to teach them to choose between options, make a choice. Options that seem to be the best, or, the best option for them. It's like when they are confronted with a choice, if they have a choice to make, all right? So, because when you are talking about leadership, it's like you are leading others. And I like it when we talk about peer-to-peer leadership. Children who are leaders among children, they are leading other children. That's why I talked about putting up a team, all right? So that we can now start mentoring them on this issue of leadership. So teach them negotiation skills, because it's a skill, that skill that we can settle the matter. We can talk, all right, without fighting. We can look into an issue and weigh different options, all right? Let them just learn that you don't have to push your way. You don't have to be stubborn or too complacent. Let there be, a balance. So teach children negotiating skill, because negotiation is a skill, all right? And then, as I said earlier, there are some terms we will never miss when you talk about leadership. Let's teach children how to make decisions. Decision making is very key, because they have to make choices for themselves and make choices for the others, all right? So, and it's good always, even for children and especially for grown-ups, it's important to learn to make decisions, even if it's a bad decision that needs some improvement, and then you have room to help people help you improve it. It's important always to learn how to make a decision for yourself. Therefore, we need to let the children make decisions. If you want them to be leaders, let them make decisions. Let a child learn how to make a decision for himself or for herself first. Give them the opportunity to do that. Give them the chance to do that. And then it's like, simple things. They can decide on what others will wear, what they would like to eat, you see. And as they grow old, let them maybe watch a movie for the entire, pick a movie that the entire family will be able to watch, or the music that they want to listen to, something like that. And then even where you want to go for holiday, let the children make a contribution. Let them, so let them just make a decision. Involve them in decision making. But first, allow them to make decision for themselves first, so that they will be able to make decisions for others. Because a place of this, the place of leadership is the place of decision making. You put your life on the line, because you have to decide for others, you see. And therefore, if we develop that skill in the children, then we'll have better decision makers in future. In our family, in our community or society, we are going to have very good decision makers, because they have learned, all right? Then bring them to practice some tiny acts of confidence. In leadership, you've got to be confident. You have to convince everybody by the way you look, the way you approach issues, that you are sure of what you want. Children, and all of us, we want a courageous leader, a leader who is confident, a bold leader, you see, so that people can really count on you, all right? And so a person becomes confident with time. It doesn't just happen in hours or minutes or days or months. It's a process. And and also when the situation comes, we learn to handle them, and with time. And one success gives us confidence. The same with children. So let your children start doing just small activities that you do with them, or you do for them. The things that you do for them, just start handing them over. They will try, maybe they will fail, but one success amplified so much in a way that the children will develop some confidence. And I want you to know they will do it again and again. It's like things like simple as when you go to a restaurant, you want the person serving to go to them, give them the menu, let them get choices. If you are taking family photos, give them the camera, make sure they are the ones taking the photo, they are the ones organizing the people. The things that children like doing, the things that they enjoy. Don't go off. No, just use the simple things that you find children just like doing. All right, like they like taking selfies. Make sure they are the ones taking selfies for the family, and you are there. Others who just want to clean utensils. We fear they will break several glasses, but just let them do those things. When they do well, amplify that so much. If they fail, as we said earlier, tell them to try again. You're right. So that we want them to become better. We are building confidence in them. When you go maybe in a grocery shop with them, let them negotiate the price so that you can hear, are they using the right language, and what they decide, is that what you set off for. It gives them confidence. It will be easier when you send them to the shop again. You are sure they will do a good job. Why? Because you have trained them to be leaders, you see. So it's very important to do that. Get involved. Guardian, just get involved. Then finally, for today, work. Remember, work develops humility. Work develops humility. Teach the children to be servants. It looks like it's a negative thing. You see, when you talk about a servant or a servant's quarter or something. No, God wants us to be, we serve the Lord. Who are we? We are servants. And the place of service, the place of serving others is a place of greatness. You see? And that's biblical. All right? So if you want to be great, we learn to serve others. So let's develop that attitude of service in our children, because leadership position is a servant, is a servant position. You are a servant because you are serving others. So encourage our children to help out with activities at home, serving, all right? And also encouraging them to help our neighbors. You see, I'm sure where we live, we have neighbors we trust, we have neighbors we love, we have neighbors we put up together with them. I'm not saying it's just because they are children. Otherwise, as they grow, they can interact with anyone, or something like that. Expose them, to potential leadership situation. So what you are saying, work develops humility. Why do we want them to work? Because work develops humility. Like in the house, remember the domestic chores, or where you have to sweep the house, where you have to clean the compound, put the rubbish together, maybe you take care of it or something like that, Now, as you tell them do this and do the other, you are developing, you are bringing them to a place of humility, that they can be humble. We can do any kind of job. We can serve, you see. And as they keep growing, then you will know that if they feel bad because they are told to sweep or clean utensils or something, then there's something that we need to deal with. Even ourselves, when we realize that when we are given something to do, some responsibility, and as we are told to repeat that you didn't do it well, that this and this, and without malice, whoever is saying that, when you feel something in the inside, you as a Christian, you just know that we are not yet dead. Self is still alive, So, children, as you give them, some duties, some work to do, all right? It's not that it's not that we are overworking them. It's just little things to do as per their age group, all right? Why? Because we need to develop humility, because a leader needs to be humble. You see, why? Because, God is keen on them that are humble, all right? He will give grace to them that are humble, and he's going to resist them that are proud. So it's an attitude that we need to shape in our children so that they are going to be leaders in the community, in the society, every place where God has placed them now and in future, in their own family, in the government, where in business, where the Lord will bless them and is blessing them. We want them to be leaders. And as I said, they begin by being leaders of their own self so that we can be able now to lead others. Thank you very much for just listening to this. Let's put this into practice. Bye-bye.